Okay guys, it's Roger Moore here from Infinite Extra. This is that track was by Purpose CHH ain't dead because you know, my boy This'l, he brought out some big tunes actually still. Yeah, I'm gonna play a couple of them later on in the show. Of late, you know, and him and Ruslan had a great conversation about, you know, the state of CHH because of the tripping over from Guavi and the tripping over from tripping over the reverse by Fanatic and just seeing what's going on. And now I've hinted in the past, I've worked with a lot of artists when I did GR Live. Worked with a number of artists, and the man said he hasn't seen Jesus backstage, and let me just let you in, and I'm listening to the conversations, some great conversations, and I think that what we need to be very, very, very careful of is that we miss out a lot of good people if we look at CHH through the lens of maybe just Reach Records or just a few major labels out there, Indie Tribe and whatever, the guys who get out there, because there's a lot of people doing some great, and I don't think these guys belittled it, but I want to really emphasize the fact that basically there's a lot of people that genuinely minister the gospel, utilize hip-hop or rap, whichever way you look at it, as a amazing means to spread the gospel, as an evangelical tool. It's just that they're not popular. Again, that really just says something about the labels and the platforms and the investment that we've had, thanks to the CCM scene, who is clogged up a lot of the money and taken away from the investment, away from the biggest form of music in the world, which is rap, and not invested into it correctly, so we can have more truly evangelical ministers of hip-hop at bigger stages, bigger platforms, bigger distribution deals out there. A lot of time people are just doing it in a passion, a lack of knowledge, and just moving forward. I think that a lot of young people, they're coming to the music, passionate Christians, and after 4 or 5 years of life, they move away from Christianity and just love rap and just genuinely move away. A lot of people want to cut down the lyrics of Jesus. Maybe they're very condemning at first, when they just say Jesus is gonna kill this, kill that, kill this, kill this. He can kill up all the demons, them and whatever. And when you get later in life, they're kind of like, I don't want to chat that's wrong. You know, people evolve and change, and I'm afraid people leave the faith as well. We're sad to hear about Fanatic. I'm afraid that a lot of people do some madness behind the scenes. That is nothing new. We cannot say that there's no Jesus behind the scenes in CHH, or just rap gospel, because there is. Because I would say the same thing when it comes to ministers. You know, if you see the madness that goes behind the scenes, when we got a lot of pastors up there, what they do, manipulating people, letting people circle and build up their egos. I can really go in on any element of any sort of ministry, whether it's singing, worship leaders, you know, all these guys, every segment of ministry out there, I can go in, because I can find somebody dodgy, but also I can find somebody good. There is in the Bible, I can find somebody better than you, and I can say something better. I can say find somebody better than you. You know what I'm saying? So I think that we need to be very, very careful. I think This'l said a big truth there, and that a great conversation between him and Ruslan. Totally get it, you know. But we have to be real with the situation as well. That there is a lot of great ministers out there, but when we see the situation with Garvey, I've already spoke about that. You know, I really do say to people who got platforms like myself, yeah, when you know that somebody's going out the way, do we ask them questions before we create these platforms? And that's the question I would say to Ruslan. You know, end of the day still, yeah, and a number of these guys out there, it's not widely known, but in the background people knew about the scenario Guavi and never asked no questions. You know, I know it's tough, I know it's really awkward questions when it comes to wedding. It's very, very marriage, I know it's very, very tough questions when you see people operate a certain way, but it's a case of has the young guys are getting all these big numbers. You know, I hear the artists in the UK now, they're getting big numbers. They're getting tens of thousands of streams online right now, and they're not wanting to talk to people who like myself, who you know, we're just OGs that don't know what the new world is. What they don't realize is that we've got a lot to come involved with their character, with their personality, to guide them through their initial years, because we know it's like, you know, when you're passionate, you get married, everything's meant to be a certain way. When things turn in your marriage, when your husband or your missus cheat on you, when you mess up and trip out, and people go, whoa, watch, this is too much. But the reality show is, guys, these are conversations that we don't have. We rather let people trip and fight their way through, and then next we know, we find them remarried with somebody else or whatever, making out dodgy Facebook situations. We've seen the likes of This'l Ruslan, you know what I'm saying? This is nothing new. A lot of people have tripped over, a lot of people changed the course. One of my favorite artists of all time, Tone, things have changed. He's B-Slade now. He's still involved in ministry in the context of what he calls ministry, but the reality show is that it's all different. And I'm thinking, guys, can we just be really careful to say that CHH has no Jesus in it? There is 100% Jesus in what we do. I think we just need to be wiser how we go and then mature. Please, guys, can we learn? As I said this before, don't be very dogmatic, overly proud in what you're standing now, because we all change and evolve. We had a bunch of guys that were very proud, that even affected the shows of the UK. I seen it when I brought over these artists from the UK. A lot of artists started bringing all this Calvinist garbage into this place. It's not even Calvinist garbage, I can't say that, because of some of the Calvinist viewpoints I kind of agree with, actually. But the reality show is that basically they just stood up for this Calvinism situation, and you know, with reformed theology, without even sitting down and thinking about it and reasoning it properly. And then now when it all falls apart, they all fall apart, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are now coming out, the guys who stood not so much against it, but do want to dive on it, you know what I'm saying? And now going, yeah, this is what we're saying, you know what I'm saying? And everyone who's struggling with their spirituality, struggling with the church, struggling with everything to do with Christianity, is the people, a lot of the ministers that stood up for this, for hardcore Calvinism and Reformed theology. But the reality show is, guys, the only thing that we need to be backing up, the main core thing, is Jesus Christ, and we need to come together. I may have a different viewpoint of view, but we need to stick together. So I do believe there is 100% Jesus in the back end of the ministry of rap. I do believe it's underfunded, you know what I'm saying, because of systemic racism, full stop. You know, I do feel that, you know, there's some great beautiful ministers. Out of, say, for example, 10 I brought over, I bumped into about 4 or 5 of them were amazing guys, you know what I'm saying? And a couple of them have gone through bad times and good times afterwards, but they've got back on their feet and they're still there, and I could call them now. And there's some of the great ministers out there that would walk past me in the street, literally. That has literally happened. Say no names. Yeah, but listen, guys, all my encouragement is, let's stay focused. Let's big up what CHH has done, and is going to do. You know what I'm saying? I play it hardcore, you know what I'm saying? I back it 100%. I know DJ Zara does 100% as well. DJ Marks, we believe in the rap form, and we believe it will evolve in the UK. All I'm encouraging young ministers to do is get the right people around you to protect you, to guide you, to even make you understand how do we look better for the world, and look better to be more effective. Do we need to hide from Christianity to be effective out there? These are all great questions that you need to have at the beginning of the ministry. But sometimes, guys, it's just be you, just do you, just be careful and have the right people around you, and be amazed to see what's happening out there still. Yeah, and you'll get to the ripe old age of me still doing it and still loving doing stuff in the gospel industry. Yeah, by the way, I was never a rapper or singer still anyway, so I was a quarter average decent bass player. That's all I was. Mr. Rajan on a feed extra celebrate the gospel music of Black Origin. Just saying my piece on a whole Jesus not being CHH, man. This is how we do it anyway. Still, yeah.
Team solid winner in our.
Thank you for watching the content we're putting out. Listen, make sure that you are liking, subscribing, and following us on all our social channels, including patreon.com. Make sure you're finding us on there to support what we do so we can support you. And remember, guys,